RoadflyTV.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.
Hi, I'm Rapoport with RoadflyTV.com. Thanks for watching this episode of RoadflyTV. This week I've patched a big hole in my experience with alternative fuel vehicles with the Chevy Volt. The Volt is Chevy's much anticipated entry into the plug-in sweepstakes, and they've jumped in with both feet. For starters, Chevy has obeyed the first two rules of making an alternative fuel vehicle. Number one, make it look good. Number two, make it a hatchback. On the first count, I think they've done a smashing job. This car looks good from any angle in my opinion, and I especially like the use of these piano black inserts to sort of disguise the height of the doors a little bit and clean up the car's profile. On the second count, I'm not too sure. It's definitely a hatchback, but the opening is a little high, and there really isn't that much storage back there at just 10.6 cubic feet. The Volt failed my dog crate test unless I folded down one of the seats. So for me personally, it couldn't work, and it lags a little bit in this measurement when compared with a Toyota Prius or Honda Insight or even the Nissan Leaf. Okay, so before I get too far ahead of myself, let me explain just a little bit about how this car works. GM calls the Volt an extended range electric vehicle. So it's not a traditional hybrid like a Prius because it uses only the electric motor to drive the wheels. However, it's not a pure electric vehicle like a Nissan Leaf, for example, because it does have a gas motor with a tiny 6-gallon tank, and that keeps the accessories and the electric motor charged and running. And after experiencing some serious range anxiety in the Leaf, which can only go about 100 miles on a single charge and then dies, I really prefer this concept. When the Volt's battery is fully charged, it will go the first 35 miles on that alone at any speed. And when it's doing that, it gets the equivalent of 93 miles per gallon. When the battery runs out, the car will get around 37 miles per gallon using the gas engine to power the electric stuff. So, long story short, the kind of mileage you get in the Volt depends entirely on how often you charge the battery. It'll take about 8 hours to charge using a conventional home outlet, but the nice thing is, once the battery runs out, you can just keep driving. That makes the Volt an electric vehicle that you can drive cross-country without any issues. This car really looks the part inside, with perhaps the most forward-thinking design I've ever seen on the inside of a GM product. The styling is great and completely appropriate to the Volt's mission as a vehicle of the future, and the storage is surprisingly plentiful and well organized. So before we get going, just want to call your attention to something really cool. This little phone comes with the car. You can use it to do a variety of remote functions like start the car, lock it, unlock it, sound the horn and the lights from basically wherever. You can also use it to check on the car's charge, and it'll actually email you or text you if the charge is interrupted. On the road, the Volt is an absolute blast. Like all electric vehicles, it makes max torque at 0 RPM. So stoplights are no problem, and you can really just kind of shoot away from stoplights and around town quickly and soundlessly, not attracting the wrong kind of attention. And it is fast even in this company. It's quicker than a Prius to 60 miles an hour and a Leaf, getting there in about 9 seconds. Now, as far as driving dynamics go, the Volt really surprised me. It handles great, and the chassis is obviously rock solid. The only handicap is the tires are just not that great and howl at the slightest provocation. But that's fun in itself, and honestly, this car is really fun to bomb around the back roads with. The brakes are grabby, and they use the regenerative function, so it's a little bit tough to modulate at first, but they are very powerful. And a lot of people complain about the steering, but driving an electronic power steering car myself, I do understand that a little bit of it is you have to get used to it, and you have to understand just how big a change you can effect with a very small steering input. Once you get used to that, this car is a lot of fun. The automotive press has been buzzing about this car for a long time now, and I can finally understand why. On paper, it looks heavy and, when using the gas motor, not much more efficient than a gas-powered subcompact. But on the road, It's fun, easy, and doesn't come with any of the headaches that you'd expect out of a primarily electric car. The only drawback is the price, which, excluding the $7,500 government rebate you'll get on your taxes for buying it, is rather steep. 40 grand to start and around 45 for our test car. The nav comes standard, but the pearly exterior and the premium interior don't. Neither does the backup camera, and GM's backup camera is hardly the industry's finest. However, these are all small, fixable dings in what is truly a great package, and I really look forward to seeing where GM and other companies go with this fresh take on electric motoring. I'm Ross Rapoport. Thanks for watching this episode of RoadflyTV. You can find more pictures of the Volt and the downloadable window sticker at RoadflyTV.com. Please comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, find me on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you.
Roadfly.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.